Today's episode is going to be a little bit different in that we are going to do a check-in, as some of my subscribers and people in our Capital Mindset Trading Group have requested that we do a little bit of a zoom out strategy session and also psychology of the market as we head into one of the potentially most life-changing cycles in crypto history. That's right, these next few months could be completely life-changing, and it's important that you're 100% on your game to take advantage of this once in a lifetime generational opportunity. I mean, this is it. This is what we've been working so hard for. This is what we've weathered the storm for. And I'm looking kind of sporty today. If you guys can see, I've got my Body Fight clothes on. This is my husband's brand, well, our brand now. It's one of the biggest personal training schools in Europe. So I take training very seriously. It's a big part of my life. It's been a very active Saturday. And I believe that staying physically in shape helps you stay mentally in shape as well. And so that's something that's been huge for me. As you know, I am now part owner of the Capital Mindset Trading Group, and we are implementing actually a fitness channel within that, where we're going to start giving workout plans and nutrition plans to get you in the best shape of your life if you're interested in that, because I believe it all coincides. If you want to be excellent, if you want to achieve excellence in life and greatness, it's important that you strive for that in many areas. And I know a lot of people in this crypto community are not very active because we're sitting by the charts and stuff all day. But hey, this is going to be one of the craziest years in human history, I believe, as we're gearing up for a pro-crypto administration. And it seems to be that the entire world order is changing. In fact, the US Treasury compared Bitcoin to gold and said it was basically digital gold. And you've got Michael Saylor going on TV saying that Bitcoin will hit 13 million by 2045 and all of these things. It's such an exciting time to be alive, but at the same time, it's important to get this right. And in order to do that, you need to have a set strategy in mind and also understand what to expect for this cycle. Now, I want to pull up one message that was sent to Trip, the lead analyst from Capital Mindset Trading Group, because I want you guys to get an idea of just exactly what's possible this cycle. So here it is. When I first joined Crypto Revolution in 2020, I came in halfway into altcoin season and I was able to turn 41,000 to about 800,000 in 6 months. This round I started early November with $2,100, and at the moment I'm already up to 141,000. This is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for everything your group is doing and has done for our family. That's just it, guys. This is it. This is your opportunity to quit your 9-to-5 if that's what you want to do, to get that financial freedom that you've been working so hard for, or just to start. I believe it takes 2 cycles to be successful and 3 to truly become financially free. But if you're just getting started, this episode is going to be extremely important for you. And even if you're a crypto veteran, I'm going to go through some of the key pivotal dates and the fact that actually it is possible that this whole thing, the altcoin cycle, could top out in just 2.5 months. That's how important this time period is right now. I cannot stress it enough. It's not probable nor 100% it could happen. Actually, many indicators show that we could top out in October next year, but we got to be prepared, and that's just it. So on this YouTube channel, I will keep you updated on all things happening in the market, and in the group, in the Capital Mindset Trading Group, we will show you how to rotate into those altcoins that haven't popped yet. You see, in a bull market, it's basically pretty easy to just put money into certain coins and watch it rise. But how do you maximize that? How do you know when to sell? And how do you know when to rotate, take profits to maximize those gains? That's what we're going to go over in this episode. Some of those altcoins that I believe will be getting the next rotations and a few gems. So without further ado, I'm your host, Megan Nilsson, aka Crypto Megan, coming to you on this sporty Saturday. And let's do this. Okay, so as we get started, I just want to show you a picture of when I was the most ripped I've ever been in my life. I felt on top of the world. I'm on track to getting back into this shape, and it feels good. And I want you guys to experience that, because it's like your mind is at its sharpest when your body is active, when you move, when the thoughts flow. So let's go. Let's have one of the best seasons of our entire lives here in crypto. And I'm here to do this every step of the way with you, mentally, physically, and psychologically. So let's get started. Here you have Michael Saylor saying that Bitcoin is going to effing 13 million on live television. Okay, so yeah, times are changing indeed. In fact, I saw this on Ivan on Tech on a show earlier, and it is so true. Once we surpassed that $100,000 mark. It's like that psychological level has already been breached. And now we're already thinking, when is it hitting $1 million? And institutions are thinking, when is this thing going to $1 million? Do I still have time to get it at 100,000? So market psychology is so important. If you're in this market and you're worried about losing money, you're stressed out, you can't sleep, you're either overexposed or you're not managing your risk properly, now is not the time to be fearful. In fact, now is the time that I'm buying up the dips, because I believe that we're entering potentially the next 60 days of altcoin season, and it could actually potentially top in March. So, I mean, now is the time to be on the game, not to be fearful, but not to be too greedy. Take profits. And if you feel like you're overexposed, take some money off the table and use stop losses. If you don't know how to do that, we do teach that in the Capital Mindset Trading Group. So go sign up. The link is in the description. You use Crypto Megan for 10% off, and it will absolutely change your life. So if you want to learn how to do all that stuff, you can do that. Otherwise, put those stop losses where if it goes below there, you want to make profit. You want to take profit no matter what, and leave the rest on the table to ride out the rest of the market. So let's have a look at this video from Michael Saylor to get absolutely pumped.
So in your presentation, you have this slide twice. The first one, right now, Bitcoin is $2 trillion. You're saying in 21 years, $280 trillion. How do we get there?
What I'm saying is the wealth in the entire world is growing because of innovation, because of technology, but also because of inflation. And people are thinking to sell their Central African real estate to buy Bitcoin, or sell their Siberian natural gas to buy Bitcoin, or sell their Argentine currency to buy Bitcoin. So as people migrate their capital into this global monetary asset, that asset class is going to grow faster than equity, faster than gold, faster than real estate.
But also, did I read somewhere that you're saying each Bitcoin would be worth the equivalent of $13 million?
Yeah, well, when you crank in the growth rate, which for me, the base case is 29% a year on average for 21 years, that gets you from where we are today to 13 million a coin in the year 2045.
Then you've got the Fed Chair Powell, Jerome Powell, saying Bitcoin is a competitor with gold, not the US dollar. That's pretty bullish, because that means they see this working together to strengthen the US dollar potentially, instead of being a competitor to it and fitting in that greater ecosystem. So wouldn't you love to see the Bitcoin standard just like the gold standard? Yeah, just saying. There's a lot we can do here with Bitcoin, but yeah, they're recognizing it as a similar asset class to gold, and gold has way higher market cap than Bitcoin. So we've got a long way to go, even just to capture half of what gold has. Next up, Cardano, all you Cardano fans. Wow, breaking news, making history. I mean, Charles Hoskinson is just an epic leader. Cardano is now a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people. Don't you forget that. That's why I invested in this originally, and the vision has not faltered, hasn't wavered. In fact, I want to read you something. Just like when you're going into a debate, market psychology is so important. Having conviction in your investments is what's going to keep you from making emotional mistakes, from getting shaken out, from selling low and buying high, and all of the above. You must be emotionless, you must have a strategy, and you must remain untouched, unruffled, cool, calm, and collected, always level-headed. And just remember, as if you were in a debate, this is how you should think when you invest and how you set your strategy. Every word you say will be sharp, deliberate, and unshakable. Okay? Just remember that. We're all in this together, and you've got to come at this with confidence and fire, all right? Because now is not the time to be fearful. There will be a time when we need to be fearful, but not right now. We do need to manage risk, and none of this is financial advice. Remember, this is just how I'm approaching the market and how I've been successful in the market. So, back to Cardano. A historic moment for Cardano has been achieved. The Cardano Constitution has been signed moments ago. Let's hear from Charles Hoskinson now.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the end of the beginning. Feels good, doesn't it? There are a lot of flags up here. And my first thought when I saw all of them, I said, we need more. Thank you for representing your nations. It meant the world to all of them. And thank you for making this actually happen. It was a dream I had for a long time. You know, everything in the world that we have, this building we stand in, the governments that we live under, the languages we speak had a founder. It came from somewhere, from some idea. Big or small, they grew in their way. And we're born into these things. So you're Italian or you're American, and you hear the stories and they seem so untouchable and unsaleable. But we forget that there were people behind them, just like us, who woke up and decided to do it. This building was built in 1949. Somebody built it. People had to wake up and put it together. People building it couldn't have possibly conceived that we would be here today doing this. Just like many of us in our lives couldn't have possibly conceived that we'd be here, but we are. And we're serving as an example that maybe, just maybe, we can still keep doing this. It's been a long 10 years. It's been a hard 10 years. All of us have gone through so much. The eras of Cardano are coming to an end. There's no more Byron or Shelley or Gauguin or Basho or Voltaire. And I've spent the last 10 years of my life, every waking moment, asking, how do I get to the next era? How do I get to the next thing? It's an amazing moment to wake up and say, there's still more next era. You get to decide that. That's the magic of governance. That's the magic of why we're here, is for all of us to work together and decide on the future together. And it's going to be so much greater than what we did before. All of you, the people in Nairobi, people here, the people who worked on this, you did one of the most important things you could have ever done for yourself. You gave yourself a life mission. You gave yourself agency. You gave yourself some modicum of control in a world that strips people of meaning and agency and control. There's so much cynicism in this world. There's so many people floating around telling you again and again, what you do means nothing. Everything is nihilistic and meaningless, except what you can't change. And what we did here for a brief moment is we showed all of ourselves, and soon we're going to show the world that we don't have to accept that. We're not part of that anymore. If we don't like our money, we're going to make new money. If we don't like our political systems, we're going to make new political systems. If we don't like the way the world works, we're not going to complain about it. We're just going to change it. And guess what? This is how it's done. Not through force or coercion or lies or through bravado. It's by just bringing people together and having people talk to each other, respect each other, listen to each other. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't win, sometimes you make mistakes, sometimes you have wins that are awesome, sometimes not. But you bring them together. You put the flags up. Every one of these is equal. Every person had the same voice and the same vote. And in that collaborative environment, you can do anything. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, sometimes it doesn't work out the way we thought it was going to work out. But did any of you give up through this process? And if such a diverse group of people from so many different places didn't give up, kept pushing forward, and got this done, why can't this be a symbol for the rest of the world that we can keep moving forward? We can keep doing this. So take that to heart and enjoy this moment. You earned it more than anyone else. And know that it will, for the rest of my life, be so deeply appreciated and so deeply respected. I don't know how I'll ever be able to top this. That's another reason why there's some tears. It's a bittersweet thing to be here. But it's the honor of my lifetime. And it's an amazing thing to pass the baton to all of you. Thank you.
So, wow, a powerful speech by Charles reflecting on the decade leading up to this moment, the decade, the hard work, the challenges faced, and finally reaching the finish line stronger, better, and united. A governance system, going decentralized. Cardano is truly, truly fantastic and so special. And there's no doubt in my mind that this protocol, this whole ecosystem will stand the test of time and be among the top for many, many years to come. And I believe we're just getting started this bull cycle, and that is still a very good investment in a large cap. That's just my investing opinion. Cardano, as it stands now, I believe has a lot of fuel left in the tank, especially for what they're accomplishing. And it's really exciting to see. So in the remote chance you missed the action yesterday, delegates approved the Constitution text the community have been poring over many months. They've now published a delegate-approved Constitution here. It talks about the evolution of the Constitution, hearing from delegates, voting to confirm our chair and vice chair to pick up the mantle. Guys, this has been in the works a long time running, and Charles Hoskinson is a huge advocate for the fact that the people need to play more of a role in governance systems and that it needs to be not under the control of just a few bureaucrats, but of the many. Okay, so next up, Bitcoin does the same thing every single time. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, flush out the degens, consolidate, boom. I like it. So let's have a look at his graph here. So this is just going based off time, and I'm saying that we've had this similar pattern where we have a massive breakout and then a seeming fake out and then continue to pump back up from there. Here we had that candle in the last cycle. We had two of them actually. And now here we are again, teetering between that $100,000 line and where we are now. We're currently above it at the time of recording, which is super exciting, but that's what this is. This is the flush out the degens and consolidate and then boom. So we are just about to experience the boom. I believe that if we clear this 100,000, we are able to maintain above that we will then be doing $20,000 daily candles. Could be possible. I mean, I think we'll definitely get to 120,000 potentially this year if we're able to do that. And this all happens super fast. That's why I'm saying you cannot You cannot waver now. You've got to stand the line, stand your ground, and understand what's coming. If you haven't been around before, it's hard to comprehend, okay? Now, this is the chart that I showed in the last video that I made. If you didn't watch that XRP video, go watch it because there's a lot of gems in that. We are just about to be on the brink of real altcoin season. I know a lot of you were saying, hey, wake up, it's already been altcoin season. Yes, but I just believe it's a warm-up. It's hard to fathom, but truly, I believe that the parabolic phase is coming. We might only get 2 months of that, or maybe, according to this next chart. So just before I get to the next chart, I'm really excited in this episode, if you can't tell. So the date we have here, based on the fib-based time Fibonacci's, is December 17th. This was made by Trip from Capital Mindset, lead admin. You'll get to know his name because I'm going to talk about him a lot. So December 17th is when we could potentially start seeing this mania phase. And then here we have, well, how long could that mania phase last? Now, there is a chance that it only lasts until March, like last altcoin season, and then we don't see a second leg up. But this chart and a lot of other confluence, such as Plan B, when he says the best time to buy Bitcoin is 6 months before the halving and sell is 18 months after, that would put us in October. This trend-based fib chart, time-based fib chart, also shows October 2025 as being the cycle peak. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on it, but come March, April time, we're going to have to decide now, is this the end of the cycle based on what the indicators are telling us, or do we still have room in the tank even if we have a consolidation in spring and through summer? Okay, so we will be keeping a close eye on that. Now, altcoins, I believe, could be a good buy still, and why? So realistically, you got to expect that maybe you'll get a 4x in some of the very larger caps, 3 to 4x even, to a 20x in the mid caps. So that's what we're looking at here. If it goes beyond that, then great, but it's better not to set your expectations too high because then you don't take profits and you wait for that magical number. It's important to take profits on the way up. But yes, 4 to 20x. Okay, and below that, then you've got your low cap gems, which can do a 50 to 100x, but they have a very high risk involved. So those 3 to 4 to 5x and then to 20x's are relatively lower risk, higher reward coins that you can just keep it simple, don't have to not sleep at night. Then if you've got a certain allocation of your portfolio for gem picks, I like to give those gem picks here because I'm constantly studying charts, and also in the trading group, they come up and we've been able to identify some very good looking charts. They can be a very small percentage of your portfolio, which we like to refer to as moon bags. So that being said, when Ethereum comes to 4,000, the price action behaves very similarly to when it reached 2,000. There was a false break that failed early on, followed by several attempts at the resistance. I believe the time has come and ETH will break through 4K. So here we are. So here's the failed attempts that he's speaking about. This was on the way to 2,000. Failed attempt. And here we are able to break out, retest successfully, and off to the races. So if we were to do that same thing here in ETH now, that would put us at around $20,000. Now, that is not completely out of the question. It is not my target for ETH this cycle. I think 10 to 15,000 is very doable. 20,000 if things get really heated, hey. It is possible. So that's why I'm saying it's not important to be a genius or a hero in this market. Just put the way that I have it is obviously the heavier percentages in the more stable coins like Ethereum, Solana, and a few others that are, my bigger cap coins. And then you've got those mid cap gems like Theta. Theta gang, if you're watching this, you know it. Theta is ready to burst. I'm going to show you a chart now. But there are some bigger, top altcoins that are still highly undervalued versus others. So we're going to try to identify those now. Here's a chart for ETH, by the way, from Capital Mindset. The link is in the description below. Do not hesitate, guys. It's the best investment you'll ever make. At least that's how I feel and how many of our group members feel who are doing very well right now. We get these kind of charts. And so you can see here that ETH has just broken out of the symmetrical triangle, and the measured move from here is $9,200. This is the 1 week, so it'll take quite a while to play out. But yeah, so it's looking good, and holding ETH, it will outperform Bitcoin from here. So now the question then becomes, when does that rotation happen truly? And I believe it's starting to happen now. And we already have an ETH ETF, so Wall Street has access to it, and there's a lot of bullish catalysts. I've been saying this about ETH since 1800, last November on the channel. Everyone was hating on it, saying it's dead. It is not dead. It's not going anywhere. Tune out the noise. Okay, Theta. All you Theta gang gonna love this. expecting massive bullish rally 2020 to 2021 style, so don't miss the ride. So here we are in theta now. We are right around the $3 mark, so it's showing that we just broken out of this massive bull flag on the 1 week, which is a very higher time frame. And the measured move is in the mid-20s. Now, this is exactly the same price target that I gave with Trip when we went over these charts together. It was $25. I believe it could go even higher than that, based off news that could come out. ThetaCon is happening now in Las Vegas. They're all getting together saying all the bullish theta news and everything happening in AI. My goodness, this is a sleeping giant, guys, and I definitely am putting more allocation toward that than others that have already ripped quite a bit from their original lows. Another thing, we just identified in the group as it was happening that the rotation to meme coins is happening now. Again, we're getting what seems to be another leg up in meme coins. So I'm going to give you 3 charts from the group on that. I'm looking to get into Floki at these levels. Floki just got listed on Coinbase, I believe. So this is a buy the breakout at 26,590. And we got measured move all the way up to 60. So there's a couple of zeros before that, but you can see the screen here. That is over a 2x, and then we're just getting started. So yeah, Floki, goodbye. We've got WIF that's also about to go above its buy the breakout level, which is $4.20 approximately. Measured move $8.60. Not bad. And then we've got Pepe, which is just did another blast off. It's been in consolidation here. So that's why it's like, in the bull markets, you want to buy the dip, okay? Sometimes at one point, we'll get a massive correction from Bitcoin that'll probably scare everybody, shake everybody out, and we'll probably get a big correction on altcoins too. But the question is, where will the floor be when that happens? See, because it's more dangerous to be out of the market right now than in the market objectively. Here, Pepe is currently breaking above key resistance and should do very, very well this season, especially when ETH starts to take off, as this is an ETH beta play. Then we got AVAX. I believe AVAX is still a really great buy at these levels. Don't forget that Vice President JD Vance is the number 5 top holder in the world of AVAX. AVAX has a lot going on as far as gaming and other things that are happening, and I don't think that it has the attention that it should. I've been to their events around the world, and the team is really dedicated. I think this thing's going to rip. AVAX versus other coins is looking a lot juicier to me at these levels. So here we have a chart that shows that it's ready to go parabolic up to $120. And that would just be the first stop, guys. So yeah, AVAX looking good. And here we have top public chains by TVL growth. Hedera, 112% up. Algorand, 75. Kaya Chain, 67. IOTA, 62. ApeCoin, shout out to all the apes. XDC, I think XDC is a very interesting coin. I will be picking some up of that for this cycle coming up. Filecoin, IOTX, Flare Network, also think that's very interesting, and Multiverse X, EGLD. So these are all coins to watch if you're figuring out where to rotate capital to. And yeah, so there are so many. I'm just going to go through this and name a few that I am looking at versus others. So AVAX, we already said. DOT, I think DOT and Chainlink are still pretty undervalued versus the other coins that have pumped pretty hard. Let's see here. NEAR, I think NEAR is also a good value comparatively. Aptos, smaller market cap than Sui, and same team from Meta that branched off. Aptos should do very, very well. I also own some Aptos. FET, I think FET is going to crush it in the AI play. Algorand also undervalued compared to other big altcoins. Celestia, I own Celestia. That's another AI play. So these are more stable. I mean, less risk, but also with more upside than certain others in the same category. And that's why I'm Theta, of course. Theta, I believe Theta is going to crush it. Say, a lot more undervalued than Sui and other layer ones. Say is also a good play. And Gala, good gaming token. The tokenomics are questionable, but I believe that retail will get into this because they remember it from last cycle and because it's still relatively very far down from its all-time high. Brett, one of my top meme coins. Yeah, those are just a few that I'm looking at right now. Beam, gaming coin, I will be picking some of that. I'll be picking some of that up. I don't own that yet. I have been in and out of Multiverse X, EGLD. It's been doing quite well. So yeah, just like focus on your strategy, pick up some coins and hold them for potentially the next couple of months. That's the easiest way to play this. Now, we will have corrections. There will be times when you need to take profit off the table. If you don't want to do that on your own, sign up to the group in the link. And if not, just watch my YouTube channels. I'll be keeping you up to date. Many other YouTube channels are also doing the same. So do whatever you have to do and whatever you can to study and do this the best way you can. Now, next up, NFTs. Everybody believes they're dead. Actually, I have a docuseries coming out very, very soon, maybe next week, that we filmed in New York called NFTs Are Dead. Quite ironic because evidently we don't believe that. So I own 3 mutant apes. I've been in Bored Ape Yacht Club for a while now. And I just want to show you this chart because nobody's even thinking about this. Alex Becker spoke about it. That's the only YouTuber I've seen say anything about it. As you can see here, the altcoins topped out last cycle in the springtime, somewhere around, March, April area. And then you had NFTs with their blow off top that happened about a month or a month and a half later. They are the last ones to run in this liquidity cycle because people are taking profits and rotating them into other things that they can flex, that they can say, I'm now part of this exclusive club because I can afford it because I did well. I mean, this is how it goes. They're the most illiquid asset too, so they run hard when they do run. As you can see, they're already up quite a bit, a small little uptick comparatively, but I believe that actually Bored Ape Yacht Club will come back and other top NFTs. So it's just a matter of time. If you do have extra liquidity, you want to get into something that's a little bit higher risk play. I mean, look where we are, guys. Look where we are. We might not have the same parabolic exponential gains, but I believe there's a lot of upside there. Okay, so now we are going to talk about, as we come to the end of this, how long could we have to take advantage of this altcoin mania? So here we have the biggest altcoin season from Leviathan. He posts a lot about, I don't know if I said your name right, but he posts a lot about Theta. I really like it. The biggest altcoin season will start on October 2nd. It will repeat 2017 and 2021 bull run cycles. Last time my portfolio went from $900 to $87,000 in weeks. That is the key here, in weeks. This happens like in the blink of an eye. And if you're not in the market, you get left behind. And that's why it's so important to take action. If you're sitting on the sidelines, if you want to invest more, start dollar cost averaging in. Not financial advice, but that is what I'm doing. And I really want to convey how important it is to take action right now and not when things are ripping and taking off and leaving you behind. Crypto Rover, the altcoin season is unstoppable. So here you can see now we've been kind of like ranging, creating this market structure down here at the bottom. We broke above, tested support, and boom, spring into altcoin season, extreme into altcoin season. So what does this mean? So altcoin season is here. The altcoin season index has hit its highest level since 2022. In the last Bitcoin halving year, the index stayed this high for around 3 months. If history repeats, we're in for an epic altcoin season in the coming months. Buckle up. So again, another point of confluence, 3 months, February, March. Could we be seeing the top for the altcoins for the whole season, or just a major macro top before consolidating and then having another leg up? That'll be the time to watch. But all things point to 2 months, the next 2 months of your life. I want you to be laser focused on this market. Then we have the biggest altcoin season will start in October. Remember 2020, October? Back then, my portfolio skyrocketed from $1,000 to $240,000, and now it's happening again. So he's very much into low caps, but he would not be wrong about this. October, up and to the right, after elections, up and to the right is generally what we're doing. Altcoin season index is at 86, go time. Key targets before considering sells. Bitcoin dominance, 40% or even 20%. ASI, 100%. So this metric here. Token distribution phase where everything just starts popping off and it doesn't even matter. It's like throwing a dart. And Phantom app is in the top 10 app store. Until then, buy every dip. We're at the start, not the end. And he's true. He's right. We're not early to this. I believe the actual bull run started in January 2023. And if you watched my show since I started revamping it, we're up exponentially since then even. But we're just getting started in this phase where things start to get irrational. So we're not there yet, but we're getting into that beginning of that point. And so yeah, it's about to be blast off. It's time to take action, stay focused, stay cool, calm, and collected, and I'll be here with you every step of the way to help you as much as I possibly can. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and that your mind is in the right place and that you're ready for battle, for war, because it's about to get crazy here in the best way possible. So thank you for tuning in. Happy Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow.